Who's under more pressure to get a deal done, Dak or the Cowboys?
No, man, Dak is under a lot more pressure than these boys. And he's under a lot more pressure because Dak's career is going to last far less long than the Cowboys.
You
like
ain't
the Cowboys can go much further than Dak can go. So Dak has to understand you need this more than they do. What Beyonce say? To the left, to the left,
To the left. To the left.
Everything you own in a box to the left.
I love
in the
that
closet.
song.
That's my stuff.
That was her last hit.
The song is irreplaceable.
Let me
And the fact of the matter is, Dak Prescott, you have to realize you are replaceable. That's what I'm going to build this whole take off of. So, Dak, as much as he wants to think so, as much as we want to think so, you better understand they can find another you in a minute.
Ooh, really?
Matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute. Sal, think about it, man. We didn't think Tony Romo was replaceable. 2015, the Cowboys, they go 4-12. They started 3-1 with Tony Romo. They win one out of their next 12 games without him. Man, Tony Romo is everything for these Cowboys. I was there. I was still in the league, actually, 2015, so I was really there.
Yeah.
I saw the whole picture.
Okay.
Next thing you know,
perfect.
you know the Cowboys didn't think Romo was replaceable because they didn't even try to replace him. They drafted Dak Prescott, not in the first round, not in the second round, not in the third round. They drafted Dak Prescott in the fourth round because they weren't even trying to replace Tony Romo. So the great Tony Romo was incidentally replaced. Dak Prescott, you best believe you can be intentionally replaced.
Ooh. Acho smoking.
The great Romo. He was accidentally replaced. Like, man, we stumbled into a Dak. Like, we tripped and fell into a Dak.
Damn.
Dak, you don't think they can intentionally replace you? If so be. So Dak Prescott is definitely under more pressure to get the deal done because the lifespan of his career is smaller than the lifespan of the organization's career. And if the Cowboys need to replace Dak Prescott, they don't want to. But if they need to do it, they will.
Boy, with that take, you took us back to that private school you wore that uniform in. Boy, you a beast up here. Damn big-ass Gap kid. You up here preaching. Okay, I'm not even mad at the take because you left no room to attack. But I can go on the outside of that take, and I can find me in lane 2, Marcellus Wiley, representing US of A. Okay, Jerry Jones needs to understand one thing right now. That Dak's going to get paid regardless. Now, the only thing in leverage Jerry Jones has over Dak is location, that star on your helmet. And I wore that star on my helmet, despite now looking at that situation differently than I did in the moment. It is a huge opportunity and a huge platform just to be a Dallas Cowboy. When you're in the league and you're going team from team, you just think it's the NFL, we're all the same. And the only difference you notice is the fan bases. Like, okay, Dallas has a huge fan base. When we travel, we saw the Pittsburgh Steelers everywhere. Okay, you go to KC, it's going to be loud. You go to Seattle, it's going to be loud. Now, I'm 46 years old, and I look back, I'm like, boy, that star, no matter how you perform there, it just adds a little shine to the resume. That's the only leverage Jerry Jones has over Dak Prescott. Let's talk about what Dak has over Jerry. The fact that one is, I want to get paid here, but I'm going to get paid. And if you don't pay me right now, long term, you franchise tag me again. Jerry, that's going to be to your detriment. Franchise tag me again, and then next year, you're not going to franchise tag me at what, $50, $60 million? So I'm going to become a free agent. Jerry, do you really want Dak Prescott out there for all eyes to look and see, wow, Dak Prescott's available. What can we do there? I told you before, and I'm going to tell you again, in numbers, Kirk Cousins has made the most money of any NFL quarterback since 2016. And Kirk Cousins is not Dak Prescott, or is Kirk Cousins even a top 10 quarterback? So when you see that on record by the numbers, you're looking at this situation like, dude, what are you doing, Jerry Jones? You know what Jerry Jones is doing? He's letting his pride get in the way. This is the pride of Jerry Jones getting in his own way.
That's true.
Jerry Jones had a deal struck before. And with that deal, Jerry Jones was like, okay, that's what we're going to roll with, right? 5 years, $35 million. And then Dak Prescott switched agents. Remember, he switched to Todd France. Once he switched agents, he also changed his mind. He didn't just change agents. And Jerry Jones is still stuck in that mud, that concrete of that moment. Let me tell you this before I give it back to you, big dog. I learned this in the court of law, that negotiations can't be used against you. You want to know why? Because it's a big-ass hypothetical. Oh, man, we should give Dak this. No, we're going to give Dak this. Oh, Dak, you want this? Oh, Jerry, you going to do this? Fine. You know what's binding in the court of law? A signature. A contract with a signature on it. All the way up to that point, none of that is binding. Jerry Jones, remove the pride. Take the E out of ego and just go. Give this dude his money because you're using yesteryear as something that's going to actually undermine you go forward.
That's a bar. Take the E out of ego and just go.
Just go.
But here's what I'm going to say back to that, Sal. When I think about pressure, what do you have to gain and what do you have to lose? Right? When you think about pressure, what do you have to gain, what do you have to lose? So for Dak Prescott, what do you have to gain? Millions upon millions of dollars.
That he already has.
Yes, but more.
Oh, yeah, a lot more. A whole lot.
Tenfold more. He has $30 million. We're talking $150, $300 million. That's what Dak Prescott has to gain. Dak, what do you have to lose? Therefore, he also has to lose millions upon millions of dollars. Now, if you're the Cowboys...
Really? He can go somewhere else.
But he could get hurt. He get hurt.
He got hurt and his value went up this year.
But you know how it goes. Let me pivot then. I don't want to go there, but let me pivot. Carson Wentz, 1 year he's worth $128 million. The next year he's worth the third and second round pick.
You made my point, but that's not injury.
That wasn't injury. It's just play.
That's just sorry.
Yeah. Jared Goff, 1 year he's worth $130-some-odd million. Yeah. The next year he was worth just whatever somebody's willing to just here, take him. Give me a bag of chips.
Here you go.
Lay sour cream and onion preferably, but just take him. Take him for a bag of chips. So I say that to say with Dak Prescott, 1 year you're right. He is worth millions of dollars. But we don't know how it can happen the next because he saw Carson Wentz, his draft class. He saw Jared Goff, his draft class. We don't know what will happen next. So if you're the Cowboys, what do you have to gain? I mean, Dak's giving you a 10-win season. What do you have to gain? Dak's giving you a 13-win season long ago.
I'm about to say, keep going.
A 13-win season is
keep going.
What do you have to gain? A 9-win season and an 8-win season. What do you have to lose? I'm not convinced. So you were there. What was it? Drew Bledsoe, they got a 9-7 season out of him. Quincy Carter, they got a 10-win season out of him. We act as though the Cowboys were in this quarterback purgatory for a decade. We act as if the Cowboys were somehow the Miami Dolphins and just stuck in quarterback purgatory for 15 years. They weren't. This is about 6 years, 5 years of confusion.
You said the number.
When Aikman retired in 2000 to finding Romo in 2006. But even within those 5 years of confusion, you still had Quincy and you still had Drew Bledsoe, which have given you what Dak Prescott gave you on average, 9 and 10 wins. So if you're Jerry Jones, you're looking at the picture like, I mean, we would like you, Dak. We really would. But I'm not nearly under the pressure you are because we don't need you, Dak.
No, you're under that pressure because you keep making an assumption that they're just going to draft someone or through free agency find someone who, one, you could believe in and stabilize this franchise like Dak did.
Yes, sir.
Two, be lucky enough and good enough to be even what Dak is as a quarterback, which is top 10. Three, close the gap between where Dak is and a Super Bowl championship for this franchise once again. That's a lot more room for Jerry Jones to travel with his gamble versus Dak, who's like, I'm right here. Why won't you reward me? Oh, I know you love me because you already tried to give me 5 years at $35 million a year. But Jerry, don't be stupid. This kind of, in jest, reminds me of back in my super single days, and you know, I used to be out there hanging out, and you just meet somebody, and you're like, oh, I'm really feeling her. And, of course, you're feeling me because I'm Marcellus. Look at your face. Anyway, we're feeling each other out. And all of a sudden, you know, back in those days, February rolled around. She's like, what you doing this weekend? I was like, oh, man, just chilling around. I want to see you. What's up? What you got? Oh, you know, I ain't even want to go, but me and my girls, we're going to go to NBA All-Star parties. Hey, Jerry, you better not let Dak go to no NBA All-Star party. Basically, this is the version of that. You don't sign him for long-term security, everybody going to get a chance to check him out. And when they check him out, man, somebody going to be in love with this situation because Dak Prescott is that dude.
But here is what we have to clarify for the world. If you are Jerry Jones, you found Tony Romo in what? Free agency? Out of a small school? Tony Romo, you found Tony Romo. You made him great. You, Jerry Jones, you looking back like, wait a second. Everybody passed over Dak Prescott. not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Don't do that.
And I found Dak.
Don't do that.
And I made Dak
Tom
Prescott
Brady got
this dude.
passed over 6 times.
My point is, if you're Jerry Jones, you cocky yourself. You thinking, even if it's not Dak, I can find me another one.
Yeah.
And I ain't even got to find him in the first round.
Yeah, that's real.
I found my good ones in a free agency and in the 4th round. So, Sel, I'm just making it plain.
What?
Jerry Jones isn't thinking like you or I. He's not thinking, oh, you lucked into Dak. He's not thinking, oh, you gambled and found you one. What? Jerry Jones is thinking like, I do this, son. He's thinking like,
If not
Romo, I find gems in the trash, if you will. I find
You find trash in the trash usually, though.
Not Jerry.
Oh, really?
Not
you
Jerry.
just talked about 6 years. What would you say,
2016. From 2016 to 2021.
You make it.
Jerry Jones has had good quarterbacks, and he found them late.
Hold on. Didn't you tell me there was a playoff drought around 6 years, early 2000s, because they had to figure out the position? That ain't the only one. What about the 6 years before Dak got here? Only 1 playoff win. Dak has more playoff wins than they had in those 6 years before he even got there. Jerry Jones can't trust himself. Jerry Jones wanted to draft Johnny Manziel, bro. Like, come on, big dog. Steven Jones, I trust more than Jerry in terms of finding them a quarterback going forward. That's why Jerry and Steven both are on record saying he's our quarterback going forward.
We've heard that.
But they actually tried to support that not only through words, but actually through actions. They tried to pay Dak. Dak switched agents, changed his mind, and whatever, the bar was raised. But look at this situation. Why Dak shouldn't be scared. Going to Vegas with you, boy, scared money. We ain't gonna make no money. Let's just go to the club.
Make no money.
Let's just go to the NBA All-Star party. Let's just do that because you gave me comps of Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. Dak, don't be scared of them dudes and the fact that their value dropped because of what? Not because it's injuries. It's because they sorry now. Right now, they couldn't find their way. Dak found his way. Must I remind you the Cowboys with and without Dak? This is a team that averages 11 more points per game with Dak Prescott and 170 more yards, big dog. Other positions are affected. Ezekiel Elliott production went down 30 yards. CeeDee Lamb's production went down 30-plus yards. Amari Cooper's production went down 20 yards. Michael Gallup's production went down 25 yards. Dog, Dak has an effect, and we're not even talking about the leadership. You're going to go draft to find a free agent that's as good as Dak, as great a leader as Dak, and still hope to improve? You're doing too much.
But, big dog, let's talk real then.
All right.
Doesn't Dak need to understand, I better strike while the iron's hot?
Oh, you scared money again.
But you got to be. It's not even scared money. It's wise money. Sell. Carson Wentz. Okay, we went to a Super Bowl. I'm finna strike. The time is now. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl. Okay, let me strike. The time is now. Dak Prescott. I couldn't strike after going 13-3. That was year 1. I didn't really want to strike after going 9-7. I couldn't strike after going 10-6. Yeah, I actually could have struck after going 10-6, but I didn't. Now I went 8-8 my year 4. Now I'm hurt. So what, he just still, Marcellus, he's at the mound and he's just waiting on a perfect pitch. Dak, you better start swinging, big dog. You better start swinging because you're going to get a pitch you don't like. Last season, he got hurt. That's a pitch.
And he got more money coming because he got hurt. He proved his value in his absence.
But can you bank on, if that, you're going to bank on, even if I get hurt, I might stumble into more money again?
You know why? Because I got comps. Acho, when we go to the negotiation table, it's 2 things that they're looking at. Main cake of this, the main body of work is your performance. Your performance. You know who goes into your negotiating room? Only Acho. You could call your agent, you could say whatever, but it's Acho's performance. The cherry on top is the outcome. How did the team do? But we're not going to pay you based on team success if you're not a performer that we believe in. Dak Prescott has comps, big dog. Look at the difference between performance and outcome when you talk about all of these other players. Second highest paid player in the NFL is Deshaun Watson. If I'm Dak's agent, Todd France, I'm like, all I do is I walk in the meeting with a Deshaun Watson jersey on. He's 29-27 with 2 playoff appearances and 1 playoff win. Dak's resume, more wins and the same amount of playoff wins. And are you going to sit there and retort and say, well, Deshaun has more passing yards? And I'm going to sit there and say, not enough, big dog. Ryan Tannehill, number 3. 91 guarantee. Jared Goff, 110 guaranteed. Carson Wentz, as I proved. These are the dudes with the most money. Dak's right there in that conversation.
Here's a problem with that, big dog. And you may know Deshaun's agent. You know we both. You may know Dak's agent. We both know Deshaun's agent.
Yeah.
If Dak dares,
they're working together too
fix
now.
his lips to walk into the Jerry Jones office and try to compare himself to Deshaun and be like, I want to be the highest paid.
No. I ain't say highest paid because Patrick Mahomes is the highest paid. That's a different tier.
I want to be up there in the highest paid.
Wait, he can't be with Ryan Tannehill, Jared Goff, and Carson Wentz?
Deshaun had 4,800 yards. He led the league. I would even say 33 touchdowns, 7 picks. I would say I got a 70% completion percentage. The highest completion percentage Dak ever had was 67 his rookie year. This year he had 68, but he didn't finish it.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, if I'm Dak Prescott and I try to go in there and try to make a comparison to Deshaun Watson, Jerry Jones is going to be like, you ever led the league in passing yards?
No.
Led the league in completion percentage?
No.
You ever had
and what that get Deshaun?
4
wins.
Touchdown
4 wins.
Ratio? I'm just saying.
Getting beat down and just throwing empty calorie yards. Come on, at the end of the game, stop.
Take this deal. You better find out that you better find out that you are replaceable before you get replaced. That's all I'm gonna say. You better find out that you are replaceable before you get replaced, because you will get replaced. Somebody was sitting in this seat before me, Marcellus. Don't make me go there. Don't make me go there. Somebody was sitting in this seat.
Just
on
one
this
seat
show,
or 2 seats?
No, you were still in yours.
No, I'm saying, was it another one next to him? Let me leave that big dog alone. That's my dog. What up, Willock? All right, what? I don't see. That ain't the same chair. Let me just tell you that.
Somebody was sitting here. You better find out.
Oh, you are just scared?
Before you get replaced.
What was that old cartoon? I think I see a putty tat. Like, you are a scared little dude. Here we go. If I'm Dak Prescott, let me be Todd France and let's get out of this. You keep talking about yards.
Yes,
what did Deshaun have again? 4,800.
Yes, sir.
You know Dak was on pace to have 7,800. Dak was averaging 488 yards per game. How many wins did he get out of that? Don't give me no yards. Let's talk about points per game. 32.6. Hey, defense. Where y'all at? Hey, special teams. McCarthy. Yo. Nobody showed up but Dak from day one, averaging 32.5 points per game. Sorry, that would have led the league if he could have continued his services. There are too many good comps out there for Dak Prescott to have this kind of audacity, same kind of arrogance that I have. Hopefully, Dak continues. Jerry, you're in trouble, bro.